Okay, so for this problem, we're going to be solving a 3 by 3 linear system using the eigenvector method. And the first step of this is to go in and find our eigenvalues. And so we'll go through and subtract lambda off of the main diagonal. So that's -6 minus lambda. All right, and then the next thing we'll do is we will use cofactor expansion because this determinant is for a 3 by 3 matrix. So we'll take our -6 minus lambda, and we will have that multiplied times the resulting submatrix we get, which will have a -1 minus lambda, a -1, a -2, and a 1 minus lambda. And then because we are going along this row, we will have a subtraction. So we're going to have a -2 times the subdeterminant from striking out that row and that column. So that'll be -1 and 4, and -1 and 1 minus lambda. And then finally, -3 times the subdeterminant from striking out that row and that column, which is -1 and 4, -1 minus lambda, and a -2. All right, so now we'll go through and start simplifying this down, and we'll have -6 minus lambda times -1 minus lambda times +1 minus lambda minus a 2 minus 2 times a -1 times 1 minus lambda plus 4. And then we'll have -3 times +2. Actually, that's a +2 minus 4 times -1 minus lambda. All right, next step, of course, is to multiply all of this out very carefully. And common mistakes here are just not multiplying and combining like terms properly, so be very careful of that. So we're going to have a -1, and then we'll have plus lambda, and then we'll have minus lambda plus lambda squared minus the 2 behind it. -2 times the -1 plus lambda plus 4 minus 3 times 2 plus 4 plus 4 lambda. All right, so we'll just keep on combining those like terms. All right, so that is -6 minus lambda. Inside the parentheses, we've got a lambda squared, and that's going to be -3. And then we're going to have a -2 times a lambda plus 3. And then we will have a -3 times a 4 lambda plus 6. And then we keep on multiplying this out. So we end up with a -2 lambda. Then we've got a -6. Then a -12 lambda. And then we've got a -18. -6 minus lambda. Lambda squared -3. And then we've combining our lambdas. We've got -14 lambda minus 24. And then we can multiply this out. -6 minus lambda times lambda squared -3 minus 14 lambda minus 24 is equal to -6 lambda squared plus 18 minus lambda cubed plus 3 lambda minus 14 lambda minus 24 equals -lambda cubed minus 6 lambda squared minus 11 lambda, and then minus a 6. We will then graph this and find the zeros of this polynomial.